Gary Roberts has been arm wrestling a little bit, and what I found is after just 5 minutes of arm wrestling, I feel like my arm's gonna fall off. I have like toothache pain running from my forearm up to the middle of my side of my arm.
Sure.
Is this something that's normal? How much rest should I need? I've had people tell me to rest. I've had people tell me pull through it.
Yeah.
What would you recommend on that?
Well, I would tell you, first of all, that every time you hit the table, you shouldn't be going 100%. When we pull up in Ottawa, we don't always pull at 100% intensity because it's just like anything else. If you go to failure over and over and over, well, you're gonna get hurt. Same thing with arm wrestling. A lot of times we go on the table, just hold nice and light. You know, some guys once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once every 3 weeks, they'll do that big exertion.
People are pulling me every tournament after the tournament, and it's, hey, I can beat you.
Yeah. Well, you got to get away from that. You know,
So
like
that's
if you're
no good.
well, that's fine. You know, like because that's really what it's all about. You know, is beating the person. But if you really want to train for arm wrestling, I think that you got to take a step away from winning and losing when you practice, and just work the positions. And if you're the stronger man on the table, you hold and you let the weaker guy select his intensity. You know, like you let the guy who's not as strong, you let him pick where he wants to work, how hard he wants to work out. And that way it's good for both guys, because the weaker guy, you know, doesn't overtrain because he doesn't get ripped apart. And the stronger guy, well, he can, if he wants to make it harder, he can, you know, give a little bit more up.
Now, we've done ARMTV interviews in the past, but we have not seen you, and I didn't realize it's been 2 years since ARMTV Nation has got to bond with Devon Larratt. 2 years, really?
Yeah, 2 years.
Oh, that's far too long. He's in the hook there in your backyard. They're going to hang out with you every day.
Yeah.
I saw some training videos on there.
Yeah.
ARMTV, very jealous, very jealous.
Well, you gotta come up.
We would love to. We would love to. Okay, so real quick, how many years have you been arm wrestling? Tell the nation.
Since 95, started with Devon Larratt. 96, moved back to Ontario, started with Troy Eaton.
Wait, how many years did it take for you to develop the sort of the reputation you have as being kind of the man in Canada? I mean, you're kind of legendary because we don't get to see you that often. And seriously, it's almost you reach this legendary status. Devon Larratt, you're like the man.
Oh, I think that my status in Canada is still contested. You know, like it's because I get to go out so rarely. I mean, I still, like last time I pulled Earl, he beat me, and you know that, but that was a couple years ago. A lighter. You know, Earl and I still, you know, we can mix it up. And, you know, it's been so long since Ryan and I pulled. I'm sure that he, you know, wants to try it again. So say the man, well, I feel I'm the man. I'll tell you, I do. I feel like I can beat anybody in Canada anytime. But I know that I still have something to prove. Yeah. Well, no, even before that, like I always loved arm wrestling. And I was just real excited to find out that it was something more than what I always knew as a child. Like I always loved arm wrestling on school tables and, you know, with anybody who would, you know, play the game with me. And when I found out it was an organized sport through Dion and then through Troy, I just, you know, it just made my day.
Did you have any technique in the very first tournament you ever were?
Yeah, I think maybe I had a little bit of natural technique. You know, just maybe definitely more hook. Not as I didn't have as much understanding as I do now, but I think that I could naturally kind of do a hook.
Did you? How long did it take before you decided I'm going to dedicate myself to actually training at this sport?
Well, right away, I liked it a lot. But at that time, I was involved with a lot of different sports. And as time has gone on and my time has gotten less and my responsibilities have, you know, taken time away from me, I've been left with having to weed out the things that don't mean as much to me. And now I'm left with arm wrestling.
What other sports, when you bring up sports, what other sports did you do?
Yeah, I used to do a lot of judo, a little bit of mixed martial art, tug of war, basketball. Used to do Ironman, running. Those are more of the main ones, and I did them all at a fairly high level. But I always just loved arm wrestling. Loved what arm wrestling had to offer.
Would you say you just naturally excelled at sports, or is it something you had to work at to get at that high level?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I was gangly and still kind of am, but I was a little bit uncoordinated, and I've always had a big passion for sport, and I've always dedicated myself to it and enjoyed the practice of sports. I enjoy doing it. Like, I've always liked to play basketball. I've always liked to fight. I've always loved to arm wrestle, So I think it's the enjoyment of it that's really taken me to where I am. Yeah, I am a bigger guy. Like I'm a 6'5", 6'6" guy. But really, I think that what means the most is my love for the sport that's taken me this far.